Hey there, YouTube. Your LDM here, Lloyd Collins. And my lower third is wrong. That's embarrassing. We get rid of that. I just want to do a video about custom content. I've made quite a bit of custom content for a campaign I'm running called Fury of the Jotun, which is a Viking themed campaign. So it's set in it's a D&D 5e game. It's set in a Viking world. So Viking mythology is real. And one of the races I created is called the Halbjotun, and that is a half giant. Now, in Viking mythology, giants are the big bad. They're always the big enemy. They kind of fight with the gods, and they're a real worry for the people who live in Midgard, which is the world. Now, in the world that I have, Vikings haven't been seen for centuries, a long, long time. But half giants, half Jotun, are pretty common. Um, so I wanted a race. I didn't want Dragonborn in my setting. I don't think they fit the Viking campaign at all. So I wanted another big burly race, and so I did create this Halbjotun thing. I've given them a couple of things that are quite interesting, hopefully. So just what I've got ability score increase, constitution and strength increases by 2. That's like a mountain dwarf. They don't have two split. So like most of the races in the DMG, or sorry, in the player's handbook, have 2 options. This is just the only option for the Halbjotun. So they have constitution and strength increased by 2. They reach maturity at around 18, but are considered young until they finish their first century. They can live up to about 500 years. This is to show that giants in D&D are actually, as far as I know, immortal. So they live a very, very long time, pretty much indefinitely unless they die violently. Alignment. They enjoy personal freedoms and feel a need to explore. They tend towards chaotic alignment. Why not? So then size, they're huge, ranging from 7 foot to more than 8 foot tall and being very heavily built. Your size is medium, but you're considered large for purposes of grappling, shoves, and carrying capacity. So this is to represent how big and strong they are. I wanted them to also be quite good at grappling. I quite like grappling as a mechanic in D&D, and I wanted that to come across in this race. So they can, for example, grapple things that are huge size because they are considered large. Speed. Due to your long legs and powerful muscles, your movement is 35 feet. So a little bit faster, just like a wood elf. And I think that makes sense because they've got these really big, long legs. So then they have a feature which is called Great Weapon Mauler. Halbjotun are proficient with great swords, great axes, great spears, and mauls. Great spear is a weapon I've created for the setting. When you make a critical hit with a great weapon, you roll your weapon's damage dice an extra time. That's a bit like the orc. The half orc has a very similar ability. Then they've got thick skin. They're used to living in the freezing tundra. They feel 1 level less of environmental pressure when in a cold environment. And when they reach 5th level, they regain resistance to non-magical cold. So a lot of the problems my players are going to have in this world is that it's really, really, really cold, especially when you get up north into the tundra. And so the Halbjotun, that's where they're from, so they don't have that problem. Then they have Mighty Athlete. They're proficient in athletics and have advantage on athletics checks to run, lift, push, or jump. So these are the things that I think require strength and power, and that's something that they're inherently good at. And then finally, they have something called Unstoppable Charge. So they're famed for their ability to break a battle line and smash through the most staunch of defenders. As an action, you can use the Unstoppable Charge action in place of your movement action. You move up to your speed towards an enemy you can see and make an attack. If you reach an enemy, you gain a +5 damage if your attack hits. So it's like charge. The enemy then has to make a dex save or be knocked back 10 feet and knocked prone. So you can use that a number of times equal to your con modifier. I'm probably going to change that to once per day. But either way, so the idea here is that this big, huge guy with an enormous weapon, he runs forward and he just smashes into somebody and knocks them to the side. I have this image of them as a formation, just smashing other formations. Like if there's a bunch of humans with shields, they're going to get smashed aside. So this is my idea here, that these big, big, tough guys. So yeah, generally, I kind of think they're going to be really big, tough. They're going to be hale and hearty. Probably enjoy the simple things in life: drinking, singing, dancing, jumping, running. They're going to be really fit, generally speaking. And yes, I actually think that creating custom content for 5e is actually very, very easy. If you look in the PHP, the races all kind of have a set way that they're created. They all have similar things. So they tend to get an ability score increase. They have specific speeds, things like that. And they have a certain amount of abilities. I think the half giant is balanced. And I've played a couple of games with half giant characters in them, and they haven't been overpowered at all. So I think I'm okay with that. But yeah, I just think creating custom content is a ton of fun. It's really easy with 5e. And it's one of the reasons I really want to do this Viking setting. I'm not crazy about fantasy medieval Europe, which is the standard setting pretty much for D&D. Excuse me. So yeah, I think that's cool. I'd like more custom content. I've made some other races, another class. I'm going to be working on other classes for this. And yeah, keep your eye out for it. I'm going to start running it on my channel pretty soon, the campaign. It's going to be called Fury of the Jotun. If you're interested, just check it out. I also run one-shots on the Facebook RPG one-shot group all the time. If you're going to get in, just join in. No experience necessary. It's usually run with 5e. Okay, thanks for watching.